This is Diana Sullivan in Austin, Texas. On this project, which I used a fancy mohair for, I made a built-in rolled edge. That is, if you look at the knit side of the fabric, it just looks like plain knitting. But when you switch over to the purl side, it looks as if I folded over the knit and sewed it down. Well, I didn't. This is a built-in rolled edge that's easily made on the knitting machine as you work. The first thing to do is to look at your knitting machine and figure out what you need to do so that the machine will not knit needles and hold. If you bring some needles all the way out like this, will the machine push them back and knit them, or will it skip on over them? So I'll go ahead and push my machine across, and my machine popped them back and knitted them. Well, what I want to do is find the setting that doesn't do that. This machine has Russell levers. It's a studio machine. A brother machine is going to have a hold lever. The Russell levers are on each side of the studio carriage, and they have positions 2 and 1. And in this position, which is position 2, I'll bring out a needle and look what happens. It pushed it back and knit it. But if I put my Russell levers on both sides into position 1 and I bring out a needle, it will knit across that needle. Every knitting machine I've ever played with has some kind of a Russell lever. On the Brothers, there'll be an H and N slider right here. On this studio, the Russell lever is this little metal control right here. It has positions 1 and 2. Now there's one of these on the left and there's another one on the right. I currently have both of them in position 2. Let's put them both in position 1 and see what happens when I knit. I'll bring a needle out to hold. Let's see what it does with this held needle. It pushed it back and knitted it. That was in Russell lever position 2. Now I'm slipping both of those levers into position 1, and I'm bringing out a needle and knitting. It skipped over the top of the needle and left the needle out and hold. So what does this have to do with doing the built-in rolled edge? Well, it's easy. With my Russell levers in position 1 or my brother machine in hold, I can bring the right 3 needles out, that is, the needles opposite the carriage out, knit across, and it will not knit them. Then I can bring the yarn under all 3 needles. I got in close so you can see it's under all 3 needles. Now I've got a choice. I could either push those 3 needles back a little bit and my machine will knit them, or, let's do it again, I could change the Russell lever on the left side over to position number 2, and then when I go across it will knit these. Now it's necessary every time to wrap this yarn under. So what I have right now is I have the Russell lever on the right on position 1 where it skips the held needles, and on the left on position 2 where it knits them, and I can just go along like that making my rolled edge. When you look down at the knitting, there's a little bar that's there from where it skipped, but as you work along, the bar will shorten and go into the stitches beside it, and you end up with a very attractive, tidy, finished edge.